Hey guys, how you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap up. So we'll go straight into those charts. Not a lot happened today at all. We had a little flurry down towards the 9,400 zone and then pushed back up. Just along with some movements in the stock market down and then back up basically. It's looking good though, getting supported again above this 9,500 level and currently trading above 9,500 now. So hopefully we can get this push up through this zone over these highs here. I think once we get back over 9,600, I think we'll basically break through this level and then hopefully get supported above 9,800. That will obviously look good for the ascending triangle. It would definitely be good for the ascending triangle to just get away from these lows here and not have to test down there again. I mean, potentially we'll make our way over here and test around this zone, maybe wick underneath this support zone at some point in a few days, or maybe even a week or so if we're still in the triangle then, haven't already broke out or broke down. It's obviously looking a lot better than we've been looking from these sell-offs. So I think confidence may start to be regained in the bullish uptrend after this bit of a scare that we had, and then we can potentially get some higher targets. Again, I do think it's going to pretty much depend on what the stock market does. I don't think, unless the stock market stays strong, I don't think we're going to be able to bust out of here. And then if the stock market has a big sell-off, I think we will drop out of this. So that's definitely where we're getting our fuel for our moves from. But overall though, good to see we are still staying in the triangle. 12-hour Stokes, you can see, have turned back over now. So that is one of my number one bullish signals. So 12-hour Stokes up, and I think that will definitely start to bring some momentum to the upside. Daily Stokes, as you can see, we kind of need them to be supported by this trend line. So we think we need a bit more of. I think we probably need to get up to around 9,700 to 800 to get these starting to move the other way. For our Stokes, still pretty high like they were this morning. So we were looking at this and thinking we could potentially test some downside. But I mean, we didn't really get much really. 9,400 wasn't too much of a test of the downside. But yeah, basically we have got just low volatility, as you can see on the daily. So we're expecting some sort of an expansion of volatility on the higher time frames. The daily basically, to coincide with our next big move, our next big break. So that could be up, it could be down. I mean, stock markets are bullish, but I do feel like just about everything's been thrown at them, and they're shutting down schools in China, and there's tensions with certain countries, and there's lots of things going off, tensions in countries. There's a lot of stuff going off that after everything the Fed has done already, I do worry basically about how high the stock market can go or stay, and I only worry about that really because of its effect it has on Bitcoin. That is a concern. Jay Powell, the guy, came out and said that they were gonna curtail bond buying while stock markets were strong, which, I mean, that obviously is not great for markets. But then at the same time, yesterday, obviously they were talking that they were going to buy individual corporate bonds. So I mean, they're going to buy them, but only when they need to prop the market up, is basically what he's saying. But to prop a market up, it has to go down first before you then buy things to prop it up. You don't buy them in anticipation. You buy them after basically it's dumped. So you still need to get the dump down before you get the buys. That's what a lot of people don't. That's what a lot of people don't understand when they're just like, stocks will only go up. They only go up because of what the Fed does, but the Fed only does it when they go down. So I mean, that's why we've got higher volatility than normal. That's why you get high volatility in bear markets. That is my main concern regarding Bitcoin, and it has been a concern of the stock markets for a while, and they've pushed on. But I do think the wealth transfer, the billions or trillions that they're printing, the Fed's balance sheet is increasing by, and who it's like going to, who this money is going to, where it's all going. I think I think could start to be, or is starting to come into question, especially from just like party political games that are going on with the election later on this year in America. I don't think it would harm the Democrats' chances if stock markets took a dive. So I don't think it would harm them to basically raise some issues about what the Fed's doing, basically making the rich richer and actually making the poor poorer through inflation. So yeah, maybe that will come into focus, and then that'll obviously be a dampener on the stock markets, won't it? So yeah, there are a lot of worries and concerns. I mean, also another concern is legitimately the chances of Trump not winning the election, because that is going to be really bad for stock markets if he doesn't, and it's kind of one of those things where the probabilities of it has to be priced in. So I mean, I see polls saying it's like 50-50 or thereabouts. I mean, I don't believe it is 50-50, and a lot of that I am basing on what stock markets are doing, because if it was 50-50, they would have to be pricing in a 50% chance of Biden and corporate taxes to be raised, and just a lot of the business friendly shenanigans that go on won't go on, obviously, under Democratic leadership. So that is a concern regarding the stock market. That just has to be priced in, unless you're going to factor in. I mean, you just have to have near perfect conditions to keep stock markets where they are or higher. And we almost seem to have the opposite of those, with more and more near imperfect, obviously, do you know what I mean, not perfect things that have been thrown into the mix. So yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, I just think this rally's living on steams now, on a wing and a prayer, living off fumes. That's it, driving off fumes. Living on a wing and a prayer. It's basically, I think we are getting to the point where where it's potentially going to have some serious downside, some serious retracement, which is not seen for a while. And again, like I say, I'm only going on about this because of Bitcoin, and it's obvious correlation. Look, this is the correlation with the stock market. Look, this here is basically the stock market, and then this here is basically what's going on now. And even look at Bitcoin. This is looking like it's flagging out. This is looking like it could start to take a turn to the downside, and that's just Bitcoin alone. So anyway, so that's enough doom and gloom and worrying about the stock markets in general. But anyway, yeah. So right. So thanks for listening, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys all tomorrow.